So I had a request a little while ago to see what tools I use, which knives I use, etc. for when I'm doing my fur handling and stuff. So here's just a quick rundown. I got two combs here, just a coarse one and then a finer one. I use both. When I'm gonna skin, I give them a good work over with that one, and then after I'm done, have them boarded and stuff like that, I work them with that one just to make sure I get all the knots out and makes it look good. Use this dowel here. You've seen on some of the videos where using that to pull the front legs down and then pull from the neck past to the ears. And then I got the pliers here for doing the ears. Got these cheap little knives from Walmart, $5 each. I have bought some of the more expensive ones I could show you. They're $20 to $40 each. These you can buy a bunch and just keep them sharp. Moro knife, you could use that as well. I use that for basically just cutting around the ankles to get started. And then I got this tail stripper, one of the best things I picked up there. I used to use just a knife like this, run it down the tail. Now I can do it in one good swoop. I had quite a few tail strippers over the years. I had a bunch of plastic ones and they'd break. This aluminum one, it's been pretty good for the past, I don't know, 4 years. I still have some of the plastic ones kicking around in some kits I have. It doesn't come with this hole here. I drilled that one for weasel tails and squirrel tails if they're being a bugger to get. You can also use a clothespin, I'll show you, to do those little tails. Always wear gloves. Protect yourself so your hands don't get stinky. And then I have a little hammer like this to help free up around the shoulders and inside chest on coyotes, just because that can be tough. And if you're not careful, you can easily put a few holes in there. I have these wires here, just an assortment that I put around the legs where the leg holes would go when it's fur in, when I'm drying it. And then once I get ready to turn it, I just take that off and it's dried up enough that the holes stay closed. I guess I could show you right here. So that's what I do. I just go around twice. It's stiff enough wire that it doesn't come undone. And then after it dries enough, you can take this off and then you're done. Aluminum push pins. If you're gonna get push pins, get the longer ones. I think they're like 5/8 or something like that. That way you can get through the longer fur. These colored ones from like the dollar store and whatnot, I use that for ears or small fur like weasel, squirrel. I can even use them on marten and stuff, but they serve a purpose, but they're not long enough to go through the deeper fur. I got an assortment of little razor blades. I showed you this before. You can cut up the edge of cartilage, the butt of the ear, and the cartilage with that, or you can trim things. These nails are basically just to hold my forming boards open. I'll show you that right here. So I just spread it and then I just put that in between. Then when I go to take it out, I just pop it out. So I just put it in. See if I can do it with one hand here. And just kind of wedge it like that. That way it just keeps enough tension there, and you just get to know how wide your board should be. And that keeps me from spreading it wide open, because even if I have this nail here down at the bottom, it's only going to go so wide. And that's about a 2-inch nail. Let's see what else we got here. Cardboard for the ears. Use that just like that, and then I just pin them. I got this dowel here for turning the coyotes and wolves and all the pelts, I guess. A flashing beam and knife. I've had a couple knives through the years. Now I use this Caribou. Really enjoy it. Works good. It's got some flex to it. See if I can show you the flex here. So as I'm working my beam, I got some flex, and then I can ride along there pretty well. Take a good swoop off. Right here I have an oak. This is solid oak, and I've just taken some hinges down there to fasten it, and I got a chunk of 2x6 there on a sheet of plywood. So I have 3/4 inch sheet of plywood, and I stand right here, and then that way I'm not chasing it everywhere because I'm basically pushing against myself. I got a hinge here, it's kind of covered up with some goop, and then I got 2 screws here, and I can undo those screws, and this will lay down flat, and I can store it away or transport it when I do a course or something like that. And then I have this twine here just to hold this end down, but I also have a little screw hole right here so that I can screw it down and it stays all together. Let's see what else we got here. Right here I got a magnet for the knives. Just zip tied that, it works good so I'm not always looking for the knives. And then I got these electric winches up there, 2 of them. Mainly use the one that's in the middle of the camera right now, just because of my skinning gamble here. I just like these wires better. So what I did here is I took off this kind of a dog choker chain and then shortened this up like this and put a swivel there, and then I just have this clevis so it's big enough to go in my hook. I shortened that up because sometimes I need just a little bit more height for big coyotes and whatnot, just so I can pull them off good. This needs actually be crimped there, open that up through the ear. And all this is right here is just a washer and a chunk of 3/32 cable, 7x7, and just big enough there that you can get a wolf foot through or a lynx foot, because when it goes tight and actually cinches down, you don't want too much length there because that will cause you to lose some room. And then I showed you my clevis there before. So this whole frame here, my father-in-law built it for me for my birthday. I kind of taken a video at a conference once, and him and my wife got together and made something big enough that I can hang a moose off or an elk, and then it all comes apart. So I can pull these pins here and this will lower it, and then there's pins there on the top of both sides, and that will pop off. So then I just have that frame here, and then I got a pin down here that I can pull that off and take that bolt off and this one and flip that up so that it'll come all apart, and so you can stow it away or take it places. I brought it to our Alberta Trappers convention before, and they use it for skinning. Nice and solid. I welded these wheels on because it makes it a lot easier to move it around the shop. And for sharpening my knives, I got a few things, but I've had this for a long time. It's done me well. You can get them on, I think I bought it at Home Hardware or PV Mart years ago, but I see you can get them on Amazon for fairly cheap. And yeah, this thing's probably 5-6 years old and still going. Puts a decent edge on your knives. And then I just sharpen them up, put them back up there. And got some steels here. I'm not sure what else here. Clothespins for marten legs to close them shut. Pulling a squirrel tail, just put it in there, pinch it off and give her a tug and it'll pull right out. This thing here, really rambling on, but just showing. I use this kind of as a third hand. I hook my marten feet in there. Anything that I need something to be held onto, and then I can kind of pull against it. Just kind of goes around there, pull against it, so then I can get things tight and I can make my initial cut on my Martin and Fisher. I got these foam there for the pins, but I find that I always end up just throwing them in here anyways, so I like to poke my fingers, but every once in a while I'll get ambitious and put them all back in here. These are some of the other knives here that I have.